Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make a pop-up box card, but first things first, what you do need to have are some basic equipment for the whole session. You will need a paper trimmer, which I've got here. So I've got the cutter and also the scorer there. We have Tombow glue, or you can use your glue tape. We also have the glue dots, which I'll explain about those later. Nice sharp pair of scissors and a bone folder. So for now, I'm going to start with, I've listed all the sizes and things like that you'll need in terms of the paper and the cards down here on the right hand side. So you can pause at any time and just recap if I go too fast. Today I'm going to use a card with the base card for our A4 paper, this is Mint Macaron from the Stampin' Up 2020 catalogue. And I am going to team that up with some new papers that have not yet come out but will be out from the 4th of August, so not far. And this is always what I find the hardest part, is trying to decide which one of these lovely papers we're going to use. They are several different shades there. We have, you can probably see some of the slight shimmer in it with the camera reflection, some gold and some bronze colours there. We're using Cajun Craze, Mint Macaron, Early Espresso, and I think that's Crumb Cake. But I have decided, although I might change my mind still, I think we're going to do today, I'm going to go with the one that's got both shiny, and I feel like doing shiny today. Maybe that one. I do like the back. So I'm going to pick that one as my piece of card that I'm going to cut. So I'm just going to put that to one side. So the first things we need is our base card, and we're going to cut that at 5.5 inches. So pop it under your trimmer, measure up to 5.5 inches and cut down. Keep this piece of paper card because we will need that shortly for the next bit. And then I'm going to turn my around. Now I've put there to do 11.5 inches, but on a piece of A4 card I tend to just leave that as it is for that length because it's only just a bit longer, and you'll see why in a minute. Right, so then at this particular point I'm going to put it back. Now if you have a scoreboard you can use that. I will show you mine. So I use this one often for my scoring and I find it quite quick and easy. If you don't have one of these though, you can still use your trimmer that you might have. Line it up to, we're going to cut then at 2.75 on the short one. Now if you've got one of the trimmers that's got its scoring blade in, you can use that. If you've got a normal trimmer that doesn't have a scoring blade, just get your bone folder and run it down there to give you a nice solid line down the middle. But I'll show you how to do the rest on the bigger board because I like it that the fact you can see all the, let me just move that down, you can see all the lines across the top and measurements. So I know I want to score at 2.75, 5.5, 8.25 and 11. And then what's going to happen here is this little bit here we're going to cut off and we'll make it into a point or a fold. So if I just show you, we're going to cut at these bits here and then we're going to get rid of this bit that's here. Okay, so next get your scissors. Let's move the bone fold away and just cut down to there. Across and across. Then I'm going to cut down on each one of these lines here, and this is going to form the top part of the box. So this is the bottom part of the box and this is going to be the top part of the box. If you've got bigger scissors then obviously you can do this quicker. I'm just using my little snips that I've got. Okay, move that over to the side. So that gives us our base layer now for our pop-up box. We take our bone folder, and what I want you to do then is we're just going to make sure each of these folds that we've put in are nice and crisp, because that will then make it easier for us to make the box stand up at the end when we put it together. The reason we do this is because it softens the fibres in the card and it makes it more malleable for you. Okay, so that's our base layer of our box. Now if I just show you briefly, you see, before we stick it together. Okay, so I'm just going to put that to one side. The next thing we need, if we look down here, is our designer series paper. Now I picked the gold and the bronze that we saw just. I'm going to get my trimmer again ready. And then I'm going to cut 9 pieces of 2.5 by 2.5, and this is going to make squares that will fit in each of these boxes here. But we don't need 8, we just need 9 at the moment, and you'll see why as we move on. So I'm using my designer series paper trimmer and cut them into squares. One, 2, 3, 4. That's 4. Let's cut another strip. And then I'm going to cut this again and cut them into another strip of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want one more because I said I need 9. Okay, let's put that to, oh actually, so put those 9 pieces that we know we need to one side. The other thing we need for the card is the 2 lots of 1 times 4.75 inches. So it's 1 inch. I'm going to cut this at 4.75. And then another one at 4.75. What we'll need to do with these 2 strips that we have here then is we also then need to score either side there and there at 1 inch. And this is going to make the divides fit in the centre of the card. So if I get my bone folder, measure up to 1 inch, cut down there, turn it round, measure again at 1 inch, and pop them to one side. That's those 2 done. So we have our 9 pieces of DSP at 2.5 by 2.5, 2 strips at 1 inch by 4.75, each scored at 1 inch either end. We still have our leftover pieces of card, which we'll use shortly. And we also need 2 pieces of 5 by 2.5 and by 2.5. And this is going to fill in the gaps here. So at the back of your card, when you've made your box into that shape, you still want to be able to write something. So we're going to put a bigger piece of card there and a bigger piece of card on the inside there. And that is going to be the back of the box. So we're going to put it there and there. So okay, 2.5 by 5.25, and I'm actually going to do 2 lots of cream. Actually, you could do designer series paper on the inside as well as the outside, but today I'm going to go plain cream because I'm planning on putting lots of colour and pop-up bits on the inside, and this will help make the colours pop, and it also blends really nicely with the card that I'm going to use. The other thing you can do is remember your flip side on the designer series paper, so you might decide actually I want to swap and do whichever I feel looks good on the card. So now how to build your box. This is where you need your Tombow glue because it's nice and quick and easy, and it also makes sure that if your card isn't quite centered when you put it down, or your piece of designer series paper that you're using, you can actually make sure that it moves just slightly. It's got a little bit of movement, a bit of give. So we put these on before we build the box. So I'm going to take this one and put my glue on the back. This one, and make sure you do the opposite side for the back of your card. So this is my opposite side. Okay, then decide which way you want it to fold. So you're going to go that way or you're going to go that way. I'm going to go that way. So the rest of my designer series papers I want to put, so this is going to be my outside of my box, this bit. So I know that I want this here to have the other side of my DSP. So I'm going to glue these down. Like so. Seems a shame, doesn't it, to put these down on top of the nice gold and bronze, but we will have enough sparkle on the other side when we do our pop-up bit shortly. I'm going to then reverse it for the top. Let's just double check which way it's going to go. So these are going to fold out. So I want that way. And the reason we're putting these on here, these are going to be the outside of the card. So when you fold the card up, you still have some pattern there. That's that one. So that's going to pop like that. Let's just, so you can see how it's starting to build, and then the card be folded like that. Flip it over. So these ones now are going to drop out like that. I want my pattern now to look like it's growing up. If you're not confident with patterns, if you do a very generic one, so it doesn't really matter whether it's up or down, then you'll be able to, it doesn't really, you don't have to give too much thoughts to which way the paper's going. So that is our card and how it's looking at the moment. It's coming together quite quickly. Now I'm going to just pop some of the tape. You can use the Tombow glue if you want, but actually this tape is quicker. Pop it down there. And there. I sometimes struggle to get this off, but today we're doing okay. She says. There we go, it's concentration for you. Tuck these ends in that are over, bring it round, line at the base, put them together, and when you open it up you have your base card that's looking like that. Okay, so if you've been following along, hopefully you have something that resembles that. Right, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to make it so that when we fold it up we've got something to build the pop-up bits on. So these are our two sheets that we've got there. we need to then put some glue on here, and I put Tombow on this one because it's easier to do if you can move your bits of card once you've put them in the box, and this helps slide down. So you just take them, bit your glue, fold it and slide it down into the box like that, so you can see that it's flat either side. And we'll do the same again for the back one. And what you'll notice is I've actually put them as close to the, use the depth there, which is the inch that when we folded and scored. So our two boxes are now, our two lines are in, and what we do then is we just squeeze it down, and I use just pressure there and squeeze, and open it up and do it the other way around, just to make sure that the box will lie flat, because that is the size of your card that you're going to be sending. And there we have the basics for your box. What we do next is we make all the little bits that come and stick out, and this is where you can do as much or as little as you like. But I'm just going to carry on today, and I'm just going to pop that to one side, put my glue away for now, and I'm going to use a stamp set and ink pads. So I'm going to be using the mint macaron. I don't have a stamp set for Cajun Craze, but I do have the pen. But I'm going to just stamp some images from the Beautiful Friendship stamp set. I've already cut some bits and pieces. I'm going to do a little bit of fussy cutting today to be able to add a little bit of depth to the card. So if I get some mint macaron card, because we know that that's our basis, so I'm going back to the card, that bit strip that was left off that we cut off the big A4 piece. And I'm going to cut out some, here's my stamp pads, and where are my leaves? The leaves out and pop them on there. And I like this stamp set because it's just one colour and it gives so much definition when you stamp. I'm not sure if you can see how, where is the camera? Oh, there. How much definition there is on that while I've been printing. I'll just do a couple of them. Put that to one side. And then I'm going to put there. And then on this one, I'm going to take the Birthdays Are the Best Days, that one, which is on the stamp pad ready to go. And I want to do two different colours. So because I haven't got a pen in the mint macaron, the other way around, I'm just going to touch it gently on the side, turn it round, colour the top and the bottom, then take my pen, colour in the middle, bring that down. So it gives us a nice little bit of definition and change in colour. Other things I'm going to do is just quickly do some flowers. I'm going to do the same principle here, colour in the tops. And get my base coloured that way. Just print that on there. And because of the way the stamp pads have been built, you can see where it pools in the ink there, and it just gives a little bit deeper definition, like a 3D look. It's great. Move those out of the way. Otherwise I'll end up with ink everywhere. So I'm going to get my little scissors. I'm going to do a little bit of fussy cutting round now to make the shapes. You can spend a little bit more time on this. I've cut some out already. So just so you're not watching me just doing some plain cutting. And okay, let's move this to one side. The other option you've got here is some of these pieces of card were left over. If you wanted to, you could do some fussy cutting here and get some nice of the bronze cut out bits. And these will help bring in your pop-up bits in with your designer series paper. So there's one. Let's do this little gold one. I love the way it catches on the light. Okay, that to one side. All right, so the pieces of paper that we had left over. So this one here, nice long strip. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to cut, some people use window sheets. You can do that if you like. I tend not to. I tend to just use the same colour card that the base of the box was in, but it's entirely up to you. Again, you can use your trimmer if you want to, but I essentially know that when we put our things in the box, we don't want them to come outside of the box for going in the envelope, otherwise it's going to be a bit tricky. So I would just cut some strips. One, two, four, try about 10, and you try to put about 5 on each strip. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You might want a couple of longer ones. Okay, so I've got quite a few different lengths straws. Now, you can use Tombow glue or you can use your glue dots. I mix in between. I tend to use Tombow more often because, as I said, with when we stuck the DSP on, you can move it and you can manipulate it slightly better. So I'm going to use this one today. And up here, I've got some other bits that let's bring these down where I fussy cut them out from the stamp set. So we've got some leaves. I've got some hearts that I've done from some some little punches, and some little flowers, and some hearts. I've got lots of different options there to put on the box. So I basically start by putting a little bit of glue on the back of one, and I mean a little bit, you don't need a lot, and sticking some sticks on the back of each one and let that dry off a little bit. Just like them ready. So you can put as many in as you like, big ones, small ones, it's entirely up to you. You can even put little hearts on, to put 2 on there if you want, because that one's looking a bit lost. Oops. Like that. Just get a bit of glue. You'll notice I'm not putting them all at straight angles either, they're just all higgledy-piggledy. It's a good technical term, higgledy-piggledy. bit of shine with some more of the rose gold, copper. Okay, right, I'm at the stage now where I think I've got enough there. I might leave these bits and pop them on around the card in a minute. So you're going to start to build it up. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one of your card sticks, your little sticky things, very descriptive, a little bit of glue on the bottom, Tombow glue, and then pop it where you think you might want it. So I'm actually going to pop it, this one in there, and hold it in place once Tombow glue is taken, and then that should at least then start being there to pop up. Take another one, tend to put the smaller ones at the front. And then build for the height at the back. So I'm quite literally just sticking inside the box. Can you see? Okay. Ooh. I do get a little bit messy with Tombow glue, but what's not to like about getting a bit messy when you're crafting? I'm gonna pop that one on the back one. Pop this one opposite. Now I know when I fold that down, everything's still within the box, the square, although that's like slightly, but that'd be fine. And I want to put one more in here. So I'm just going to fold that down there like that. And hopefully when I open up, you can see that it's come in there. Going to do the same here with some greenery. Another flower. Okay, starting to come together. Folds down and pops up. And essentially you can just keep going, or you can stop when you're ready. I still need to have my greeting in there, which I'm going to, oh, I've missed a flower. Let's put that one in as well. My greeting that I've done. I think we could do with another one about there. And then I'm just going to randomly dot some of these little shapes that I've got. Oh, I'm very sticky now. On the cards, and you keep going. I'm going to get my birthdays are the best days. And I think I'm going to get my 3D foam pads. Cut them up slightly, because if they use them as they are, they're too big. And then pop these on the back. I'm going to put one there. Birthdays. Oh, helps you take the backing tape off. Birthdays. I'm going to put this one on the front. And then I've got one stick left. Actually, I might just pop that on my gold leaf. Like so. A few more tinkered with a little bit and added a few more little bit of embellishments. And there we go, it's finished box. Hope you like it. Really interested, love to see what you come up with yourselves. Just go and have fun. Bye.